It's Wednesday.
If you or someone you know is a fan of Nicki Minaj, please check on them today. I don't even know where to begin. Last night she tweeted this in reference to Jay-Z's company, Roc Nation.
Anytime Cock Nation's in the news for something they don't want you to know, a few things will happen. 1, Will Smith will appear. 2, a famous person is announced dead. 3, their allies will begin to post/say nasty things about the Queen. 4, Lace Z will pop up looking dumb.
Nurse.
Derapy.
Aside from Will Smith appearing, Nicki Minaj is seemingly struggling with a number of things right now, many of which have been exposed just in the last 24 hours. First and foremost, apparently she's being robbed. Someone got a hold of her Amex card, and even worse, Cardi B told us this was happening weeks ago. On October 1st, Cardi B specifically told Nicki Minaj that not only was she having money stolen from her, she even told her which card it was and who was doing it. Quote, "Your husband is not stopping you from your actions because he lets you do drugs all day to numb you so he can max out your credit card. Yeah, you think I don't know? Them Queens niggas that you be letting in your house every time you kick them out be coming and spilling your tea in the hood." And furthermore, you don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that have the power is Kenneth Petty, but you know what happens with that Amex when you sedated. Now, at the time, I found this incredibly random and odd, but Nicki Minaj decided to, of her own volition, go on her Instagram stories and talk about how somebody has been using her Amex card behind her back. 3 different people in a span of 2 months charging my Amex without permission. Some couldn't even explain how they got the brand new card number. A couple of them have been doing it for years. Filed the first report a couple weeks ago. They're all going to jail. A 4th person has been caught stealing from the barbs. Oh, bitch, sitting here smelling like Pink Friday 2 fragrance. Nothing like a hot shower to put everything into perspective. One of the credit card thieves also has been tracking my moves with a tracking device that led right to his cell phone number. You can't make that shit up. LMFAO. Won't God do it? Yes, he will. Now, me personally, I wouldn't come out and admit to the fact that somebody had been using my Amex cards right after I was in a public beef with somebody that said that people close to me are using my Amex cards, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm built different. I feel like that's an easy rake to not step on, but I'm also not
a wing-wong.
Nicki seemed to be aware of the fact that people were connecting the Cardi tweet about her Amex to Nicki's Instagram stories about her Amex, and shared a post saying, "Having your husband greater than having tea." And another that says, "Let this be a gem you cherish forever, satisfying your husband greater than stalking someone else's marriage." March 27th, 2026, the new album. So like, was Cardi right? Anyways, after this, Nicki Minaj would then post a dozen or so tweets about how much she hates Roc Nation, about how Will Smith would appear, about how a famous person would be announced dead, etc. And because this was posted yesterday, I can only assume she's referring to the great D'Angelo, also known as Michael Eugene Archer, who is a legendary R&B singer who tragically passed away from pancreatic cancer at only 51. While many people were sharing that tragic news or sharing tracks or albums of his that they loved, Nicki Minaj was simply referring to it as a sign of Roc Nation trying to cover something up, which to me is just peak
Wing-wong
behavior. Also, last thing about Cardi B, amongst the back and forth, Nicki Minaj actually tried to start a campaign to get Cardi B to lose all of her brand deals. Back on October 1st, Nicki Minaj said, "We will boycott every company attached to her, just like we did with BET. Every company that enabled her disgusting remarks about children and other marginalized groups for years. You have 3 days to cut ties. That's it. That is all. Enjoy your day. We have the receipts. And if you are still underestimating my influence, try me." She would then repost a tweet that was naming all of the brands that Cardi B was associated with. I did a little bit of digging and I couldn't find any endorsements or brand deals that Cardi B lost. In fact, while I was looking, it turns out that Cardi B just secured a new brand deal. It is with a company called Bobby, and they supply infant formula for mothers. On the other hand, we have Nicki Minaj, whose last tweet was at 5:11 in the morning, my time, and it says, "Okay, I'm not going to put out the album anymore. No more music. Hope you're happy now. At Jay-Z. Bye, Barbs. Love you for life." So she's canceled the album, I guess, but this tweet is also right beneath her pinned tweet that says March 27th, 26 with the CD next to it. I don't know what's going on with her, man. I really don't. She announces the thing right after Cardi B releases her album. Now she's canceling it or threatening to because of Jay-Z. Like, what are we even doing, man? I literally never hear about or think about Jay-Z unless Nicki Minaj is calling him names on the Bird app. It just feels really one-sided to me. It's also really funny to cancel something that there was basically no evidence of existing outside of Twitter to begin with. There was no cover art, no single, no actual promo, no title. She's just like, I hate you, Jay-Z. I'm no longer releasing my imaginary album.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Most people are kind of just laughing at this post, but there's one response that I just have to share with you all because it is simply the single most deranged tweet that I have seen from a fan of somebody ever. I had to go through this person's profile to make sure that they didn't just create it 9 hours ago. They are actually always tweeting these things at Nicki Minaj. Listen to this response to Nicki Minaj saying that her album is canceled.
Annika, please listen to us, the Barbs. Listen to us, please. We need you, mother, now more than ever. The Barbs are an oppressed class, and I've lost friendships and close ones over my support for you. We need you to take our hands and guide us to the end of the trajectory of the pink sun, the edge of Gag City, where we take hold of the goblet of victory and drink from it. The Barbs will prevail. Annika will prevail. She will take us there. God will help us on the way.
We might not have a cure for this. If you have a friend or are familiar with anybody that is a fan of Nicki Minaj, I need you to keep tabs on what these people are getting up to on social media, how they are spending their free time. You cannot allow people to fall into a place like this. Nicki Minaj feeds off this. She literally reposted somebody yesterday saying, shout out to the Barbs on the front lines for Nicki. What we're fighting for is bigger than any of us can see. Keep exposing the industry giants, keep researching, keep your faith strong, and don't let the bots break you. Every post, every share, every bit of research matters. She doesn't know who you are. She's not even paying you for this. Is the minuscule, minute chance that she might follow or repost one of your crazed ramblings really worth the public humiliation? Is it really worth losing family and friends over? I have such a hard time believing that any of you can sustain healthy relationships, platonic or romantic, with online activity like this, with a digital footprint that's so shameless. I have a community, small one, people who are fans of the show and maybe fans of me as a human. You can call yourself a derp. You can say love you mean it. You can become a member for $1, or you can just
Like the video.
or you can enjoy someone else's creative work without engaging at all. You can come and go silently, but I want to make it super clear, I'm never going to ask or encourage you to be on the front lines fighting. Some of these Barbs are out here talking like Nicki Minaj is trying to free prisoners of war. They're calling her a queen, a general. That girl said, we need you, mother. Guide us to the pink sun at the edge of Gag City where we take hold of the goblet of victory. Get a referral. Nicki Minaj is just a person who makes music, or used to. Now she mainly just tweets. But y'all gotta get it together. This is not a war worth fighting for. Y'all need to be grounded. I'm taking your internet. Sorry, that was like a whole rant.
It's Wing Wong Wednesday.
I would like to stop talking about Nicki Minaj and her fans now. We're talking about something completely different. LeBron James is being sued. So this month, LeBron teased an announcement called The Second Decision. The initial decision was a TV program that featured him announcing he was switching teams. Him being 40 now, one may assume that this decision would be about his retirement. But psych! He was just announcing a partnership with Hennessy. Whoop-de-doo. Well, a Lakers fan thought the Bron was hanging him up. He was going to retire for real, and he went out and spent almost $900 and is now suing LeBron over fraud, deception, and misrepresentation, proving that you can really sue over anything. This feels like me suing Five Guys because I'm always used to them putting extra fries in the bag, and then when they actually don't, I'm actually pissed and I feel like I've been robbed, but like they never actually had to give me extra fries.
Nah, you should sue.
But the fact of the matter is, buying a ticket just gives you a right to a certain seat on a certain day. It doesn't ensure that you'll get to see somebody play their last game there or it be their last season. LeBron didn't tell you to do this, buddy.
You're a Wing Wong.
I am kind of excited to see if he still ends up going and just sitting there staring at LeBron angrily like, you owe me, old man. I hope he enjoys the game. Some absolute bonehead twerp started a petition to replace Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl with George Strait, and I just think it's a bad use of free will. I don't even have any personal issues with George Strait. I'm sure he's chill, but does he even care to be involved in this discourse? Has he ever had any interest? The man is 73. With all due respect, I think that people would prefer someone in their prime. Also, I don't really care about this, but I think many would. George Strait currently has 8 million monthly listeners on Spotify, which is a pretty big deal. Far more listeners than I have. Bad Bunny has 81 million right now. George just ain't popping like that. My favorite kind of petitions are the ones that are actually gonna go somewhere and will actually do something. Anybody entering their full name and email just to get updates about how Bad Bunny is going to inevitably end up performing at the Super Bowl, I just think you're a
Wing Wong.
Related, Turning Point USA, the conservative organization that was founded by Charlie Kirk before he passed, clearly they have been given too much money. They've received too many donations because they have just recently announced that they are going to be throwing their own Super Bowl halftime show, and they're calling it the All-American Halftime Show, which is weird because the Bad Bunny show is also for all Americans. So like, what are y'all saying? Y'all want to use the hype from the Super Bowl to draw attention away from it for like 20 minutes just so people can go back to finish watching the second half of the thing that they were protesting for 20 minutes. All right, man. Y'all got it. It's cool. They have options on their site asking what you want to hear, and the first option is anything in English. So, in case you were typing up how this isn't about Bad Bunny's background, brace yourself for the wooden spoon. They don't want his kind. We got Shakira, though. We had J-Lo. Rihanna was born in Barbados. The Weeknd is from Canada. Like, what is truly good? We have been getting down like this for a minute now. I guess just because English isn't his first language, and he told y'all on SNL to get familiar with Spanish because he's gonna be talking it.
Deal with it.
The options on Turning Point USA's official site are anything in English, crazy, Americana, classic rock, country, hip hop, pop, worship, and my friends, y'all are not gonna hire a rapper for this.
Not a good one.
Well, maybe Tom McDonald, but no shot that you get like an actual respected rap artist that is willing to just alienate a ton of their fan base by participating in this weird alternate thing. Please go kick a rock.
Your Wing Wongs.
That's all I got for this episode. If you know anyone Nicki Minaj or Barb adjacent, please check on them. Do not sue frivolously, especially LeBron James. He will not pay. And if you really hate bunnies, particularly bad ones, just load up on Super Bowl food in the first and second quarter and take your bunny hate to the toilet. We'll call it a sit-in. There's your protest. But trying to petition or participate in cringy, quote-unquote, more American alternatives is just a bad look. Please remember to
Like the video.
subscribe so this isn't the last time you see me. Love you, mean it, spread the bread, and enjoy the outro.
Chillin' and ballin' beat with my friends. I don't need the strangers, me and the fam. If I don't give a F, then they don't give a damn. More hammers and carpenters, sure they don't jam. This here ain't no answer, don't clash with the clan. Ain't talking about grannies when I bring up grams. Foundation and patience, I know who I am. Cause my entire life has been fight or flight. When I lost a life, I feel a diatribe. It's just a light of mine to keep the tunnel bright. Cause in the darkest spaces, build the greatest night. Cause I've been solo like a single act. I could be pogo by a single ant. I done dealt with issues, moved to dismiss. You did all the things that you said I can't. But he resolved us all and be one before proceed to heed the call. The cynicism will fall, withdraw from my dogs. The pain that I saw, I know what it cost to brush off and floss and pray to my Lord. The life is so hard, when devil pull card, he quick draw my draw. So I spray and pray, I wish for more life today. The more to say, reach out for grace. And I leave you to get criticism if you're pushing the picture. Commission was a mission, but the money causing division. Vision wasn't precision. Eeny, meeny, picking my collision. I feel in the prison that